The decision to back a Kickstarter is always interesting. I like to look at everything. I want to know what I'm getting. A lot of times these Kickstarter games, they require a lot of money. It's an investment, and you're going to hope that it works out, that you get a good game. For the most of the stuff I've gotten has been good, enjoyable, gets replayed. I think I only got really one dud in the collection from that. But for the most part, I try to do my best to really find stuff that I think I will enjoy and that my game group will enjoy. And that sometimes means passing on a game. But what happens when you pass on a game and it turns out that it was actually really good? Board games, role-playing games, assembling and painting models and miniatures. These are my hobbies. I'm Howard Blues, one half of the popular podcast Beer, Blues, and BS. And now join me as I rebuild my cave of one. Hey everyone, Howard Blues here, and welcome back to Howard's Game of Wonder. I know I just did one of these, and I haven't changed clothes. It's because I'm filming two of these. It was in the same night because I had time, and because two Kickstarters came out that were worth reviewing. I already did one video, so you've probably already seen that link up here. Otherwise, we're going to check out another Kickstarter. This one has me interested. This is a game called Oathsworn Into the Deep Woods, and it was one that when it came out on Kickstarter, I looked at it, and I don't remember, because it's been several years since that Kickstarter, why I didn't pull the trigger on it. I remember that there was this great piece of art that's what drew me into it. It was this giant bear, like a polar bear, with an axe in one hand and this clawed, like, gauntlet. It was just this cool thing, and it intrigued me because it meant that this game had characters and races that weren't just, the standard fare. It wasn't dwarf fighter, human rogue, wizard, elf with a bow and arrow. It wasn't that. I could tell just from that one piece of art, especially when I found out it was a player character, this game has some potential for some different storytelling and some interest. And so I looked into it and didn't pull the trigger. But it's back on Kickstarter for a second printing. Is it any good? Is it worth me going into? I don't know. So let's take a look at this. As I said, I've just seen ads that it's up for a second printing. I haven't really looked at the page. So let's take the time. Let's look at it now. So here we can see Oathsworn Into the Deepwood 2nd Edition, a grand 1 to 4 player dark fantasy board game, epic story, brand new mechanics, and giant monsters. So, pretty cool. Look here. It has already raised $2 million, 14,000 back. Well, let's say 15,000 backers. It's got 18 days to go as of the time of my recording this. But you can see down here on Board Game Geek, it's got a 9.3 rating, and it got the Dice Tower Seal of Excellence. So that's it. It got great reviews. So let's kind of look in, and I'm not going to bother with that, but we're starting off with unlocks. The $2 million unlock, metal hit point dice, 4 custom heavy metal hit point dice with oil wash. Okay, interesting. So Oathsworn Into the Deepwood. As you can see, a lot of boxes. This is a game where, because it's narrative, stuff is hidden away in boxes, and as you reach certain points, it gets revealed. I remember that from the original campaign. You see the board, you see some miniatures. Those are I believe the hero cards, and we have some things here. 1 to 4 players. Story 30 to 6 minutes. Encounters are 90 to 120 minutes. Ages 14 and up. The campaign is 65 plus hours. 21 chapters. Replayable and with additional modes. Fully narrated companion app. So it has an app that will read it to you. Oathsworn Into the Deepwood is an artisanal cooperative experience for one of our players. Join the world's first Twisting Tales game, a unique merging of gamified story, mystery unlocks, beautiful interactive maps, and miniatures, combat side by side like never before. Okay. As I said, 9.3 and a bunch of reviews. Okay, the basic pledge. Wow, we're getting right to it. So the basic pledge, which is the 65-hour campaign, weighs approximately 25 pounds. Did you catch that? The box itself is 25 pounds for $125. 27 extra large models, 89 extra large standees, 8 large secret maps, 1,240 standard cards, 31 mystery envelopes, 144 mini cards, 49 custom dice, 300 plus tokens, 342 page double storybook, and a fully narrated app. I'm now kind of starting to remember this a little bit. I think part of it was I didn't like the standees, and I understand that, you know, for some of these games to have all of the monsters needed within the story, I mean, that would be a ton of miniatures and probably be cost prohibitive. But I think that was part of it. Like, it's not that there's anything wrong with standees, but being like paint miniatures, I think I was a little like, oh, especially because I think if I recall, some of these miniatures are pretty good. And then we have the core pledge. That was the basic pledge. So this is the core pledge, which is $225. So 40 pounds. That's a big game. 104 extra large models, 820 millimeter giant models, 12 extra large standees, 8 large secret maps, 1,240 plus 200 cards, 31 mystery envelopes, kind of the same as I had, 300 tokens, some custom dice, 342 page double storybook. So quite a bit more in there. And then there's the collector's all-in pledge, $375, only 55 pounds if you want it, which has everything above, plus the terrain box, the armory box, metal coins, map pack, hardback art book, official dice tray, the premium dice set, the pouch pack, and the secret box. Okay. Then it looks like they have an upgrade kit, so if you had first edition, you could get that for just $15. Or first and second print, all the new stuff, $95. Okay. Yeah. So there's that. Okay, so the free companies. These are the playable characters. And first up, we have this Ursus Warbear. Nomad on the great hunt, seeking worthy foes and tales of adventure to be carved onto her armor. This was, as I said, this was the model that really got me interested and caused me to look at Oathsworn the first time. Because, again, it's not your usual fantasy race. Something different. And that always is worth a look in my book. I mean, and there's the art that really won me over with wasn't so much even just the axe, but yeah, look at this like clawed gauntlet that it has. I mean, it's just kind of cool. So that character is really cool. Huntress, keeper of 2 great falcons, who joins the battle. She stalks prey, so kind of your rogue, but kind of like a rogue ranger. So that's the witch. Okay. I don't know what it is. I could have sworn in my memory that these miniatures were just a little bit more detailed than what I'm seeing here. I mean, they're not bad. They're all right. I do also like that these have a complexity meter. So, like, you can see, about average complexity, whereas some of these other ones, like the witch, is really complex. So is the huntress. Ursus is not too bad. So, Curse, I'm guessing he's your Stabby Stabby Rogue. Harbinger. I do like the look of this miniature, just the different face and the hair. It kind of looks like it's a mask. That just looks fun to paint. The Penitent, kind of your one's a cleric, probably closer to paladin. Thurston Blade. I mean, most of these sound like they're their class a little bit more than the actual like the character name. And the Ranger. I remember she was kind of a cool looking ranger, kind of half plant, half thing. We have a priest, which I like. He's got his holy book strapped straight to his chest. Just an interesting design element. The Warden. Okay, so there's your paladin-esque character. Scar Tribe Exile. Here, I wish they would have taken a photo of this mini from a little different angle. And I say that because you look at the art down here on this thing, and he just looks like an awesome character. But he's your barbarian. There's the Grove Maiden, which is just kind of like a living tree, which is cool. And then Mysteries to Unlock. You go, where are the minis? And so these are all hidden behind a spoiler. And if you want to click here, you can see what's inside the mystery boxes and see the enemies and things like that. I'm not going to do that. If you want to see it, check out the link below and go check it out. But I won't show it here in case you don't want to see it. Otherwise, encounter board. There's all the cards. Card organizers. Counter boards and special wool boards, player boards. Okay, nice cubes. Tiles, tokens. 13 save bags. I'm guessing that's so you can save your game in progress. Time tracks. Large secret maps. Varying in size. Sheet pad and character sheet pads. There's all your journals and such. And the app. And then the add-ons. Terrain box for 45. It's not bad. I mean, when you look at that terrain, I mean, those are pretty good sized shacks and trees and walls. So that's not too terrible. Premium dice set, dice tray. Me. They have more ornate save bags. Me. Not a necessity. The art book. Me. Not a necessity. The map pack. Not really a necessity either. Secret box. Ooh. Could be good. Metal coins. Sleeves. Always love some sleeves. And then the armory box. 69 fully customizable weapon options. I'm guessing it says you can change your character. I don't know that I would really feel the need for that. Because once I paint them, I don't know that I want to have to paint all of those things. I mean, it's kind of cool that you can customize the characters, but that's a lot of painting for arms and such you might not use. And then we have a bunch of review videos, which shows you some of these miniatures, like this giant rat thing, which is awesome. It also shows you, we're looking at thumbnails, giant rat thing, that terrain, your regular character pieces. It's kind of cool. So a lot of different videos to watch and kind of get a feel for. Let's see if there's anything more. So these are kind of explaining like how combat works. Cinematic encounters, go big or go home. So showing you the size of some of those monsters. So this is saying it's no glue, no screws, push fit design, high impact blessing. So the idea is that you wouldn't have to like glue your models together. You would just push fit them in, which again, I don't know that I want to paint up that much stuff. Lots of mystery boxes. Big tail. I mean, the art is beautiful. You can play it solo. Different ways of playing. So a lot of just great information, and yeah, look at that on that hand card. Oh man, this game is huge. So there you go. I know I don't sound too like ooh about it, but it's hard. It's hard when it's a game where stuff is hidden behind spoilers, in mystery boxes, and you don't want to ruin that. And so and miniatures are a big thing that sells me on a game, because I love to paint. Not that I've gotten to do a lot of that lately, but I love to paint. And so sometimes seeing miniatures that inspire me that I'm like, oh, I would love to put paint on, can help push a game over the edge and buy. But this is so much game, and I worry that I would never get it to the table. My game group, we play infrequently. It would be hard to have kind of a standard campaign. It would take a lot of remembering of how to remember rules and that. 65 plus hours of gameplay. I mean, if we get in, like 4 hours of gameplay a month, that's a pretty good month. So, it would take 5 months for us to do 20 hours, 15 months. So over a year to do 60 hours. I'm not going to get them to play the same game for a year. I'm not. And so maybe as my kids get older, one of them would be interested in it. But that's where I'm torn. It's a great rated game. It's got great reviews from people I respect their opinions on. But it's so much game. I don't know if that's going to get to the table. It's going to take up a large chunk of the cave for something that's just never going to probably hit the table as much as I'd like. And I already have a couple of those games that kind of fall in that spot already. And so I'm torn. I don't have an official rating system. So let me maybe put it this way. I'm intrigued. I'm tempted. I'll probably look at it a few more times, but will I pull the trigger? I don't know. It's tempting. And that sometimes is the fun of this. So I don't know what I'm going to do. If you have an idea what you're going to do, maybe you've already backed it. Hey, tell me in the comments. If you think I should back it, tell me in the comments. If you say, Howard, you don't got room in that cave, and man, we're still waiting for you to organize that thing, which is probably the good truth. Anyway, a lot to think about with that. But thanks for tuning in. Hopefully you found either some enjoyment in this or got something of help from it, or at least hearing somebody else's opinions. I know I sometimes like hearing what other people have to say about stuff like this, whether you take my word for it or not. But it's interesting. We'll see. Thank you for tuning in to Howard's Cave of Wonder. This is kind of a side project that I do every now and then. So it's when I'm not busy working on our main show, our main podcast, Beer Blues MBS, a show that I do with my good friend Mark Kidder. It's a show where two very good friends, longtime friends, sit down every week and have a conversation about the things that are interesting us, things we're watching on TV, movies we're seeing. I sometimes talk about board games, controversies, things that interest me, history quite a bit. Kidder talks Star Trek a lot. But we also talk hockey, professional wrestling, things like that. So if you're interested, check it out. If you just need something that's fun to listen to, drink a beer, have time with friends, it's a great time. So make sure you check that out. I'm going to hopefully try and do more of these. I have more in the works that are close to being done. So hopefully you'll see a run of Howard's Cave of Wonder here for a bit, as I'm kind of caught up on the main show. But that's all I got. So thank you once again for tuning in, and we'll hopefully see you down here in the cave again real soon.